better jump
Tell
in
your story.
my story. Okay. Uh, I harbor a secret not shared with anyone, not a living soul until now. I have a guardian angel. And on 3 occasions, this guardian angel has saved my life. Now, to speak just in general about angels, they're ethereal. They're not corporeal beings, so it's very hard for me to describe my guardian angel. She is from another dimension. And angels in general, they're neither male nor female. They're a fusion of both sexes or neither. They're just very unique entities. And sometimes I call my guardian angel Buddy in just casual conversation. But angels do not have names. They're not allowed to have names. It's a form of self-identity, and angels have no egos. There's a hierarchy of angels. Some literature says 12 different types of angels, some say 9. They go from the highest cherubim, seraphim, archangel. But the guardian angels are kind of on the low end of the totem pole. Being a guardian angel is not an assignment that most angels want, because they have to go to Earth and then you have to spend a lifetime with one person, to kind of be with that one soul until it departs. So it's a tough job. But I was saved 3 times by my guardian angel, Buddy. I'll start chronologically from the last time that Buddy saved my life. I was 16 in a drag race. 2 other cars, teenagers like myself, barreling down Pulaski Highway. The 2 cars jumped ahead of me. They were moving faster. I had a pal with me in the front seat. And so I just stepped down on the gas, traveling at a speed that I've never been in my life. I mean, I've only been driving for about 2 months, so this was going pretty fast. And then I lost control of the car. And the car went into a terrific spin. But as it spun, it kept going straight ahead down Pulaski Highway. I had no control of the car. And I looked in the rear view mirror, and there was Buddy. I saw Buddy. And I knew this could be the end. And then I was getting closer and closer to cross traffic. And in a moment, it would have all been over with. And suddenly he moved his hand a little bit in the mirror, and the car spun dramatically across a grassy median and went to the other side, stopped. Now, Buddy didn't like to wear wings, but he knew I had a soft spot for wings. On this particular occasion, he flew out the window and he had a sword in his hand. Must have borrowed it from someone. I imagine maybe Michael, the archangel. Not that Buddy would do anything, harmful with the sword, but he pointed it in the right direction. And then I turned to my friend and I said, I think it's time to go home. And he said, I think you're right. And that was the last time I was saved by my guardian angel. Now, I'd like to give you a little quote from St. Thomas Aquinas, one of the revered uh, Catholic theologians. And this is what St. Thomas Aquinas said about angels. On this road, man is threatened by many dangers, both from within and without. And therefore, as guardians are appointed for men who have to pass by an unsafe road, so an angel is assigned to each man as long as he is a wayfarer. The second time, I was 12 years of age. And I was in a hurry to get somewhere, and I ran across a street. Now, you have to visualize this street. This street was extremely steep, and I was running just about at the top of the street trying to get across. And beside the street was a very busy highway. And at the time I was running, I tripped and I fell. And when I fell, suddenly a car at a high speed whipped around and came down that street, this angle. And then my guardian angel came and he stopped in front of the car, put his hand out, and the car stopped. Now the car stopped in total silence. There was no squealing of the wheels, and that car was going really fast. It just stopped. It floated to a stop. That was another time that I thought I was done for, because when I tried to get up as the car was coming, I couldn't get up in time. So here's another quote from the Bible, Psalms 91. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. The first time my guardian angel really saved my life, I was 9 years of age. I was living in the inner city in Baltimore. Now, the neighborhood I lived in, there were like warrens of alleys that connected one street to another. And it was just quicker for some of us just to go through the alleys instead of going one block down one block. And I just loved alleys. I always traveled through alleys to go places. And this one day I was going down a particularly really long, narrow alley, sauntering, and so I was going down the alley. All of a sudden, at the end of the alley, a Chinaman stuck his head out and looked down the alley at me. And then he disappeared. And Buddy, when they talk, they talk thoughts in your head, and angelic thoughts. And Buddy said, run as fast as you can. So I took off and I ran through that alley, out of that alley, right across another street to another alley, hid on the side against the wall from the other alley, and my angel was behind me, and we looked over. The alley that I just came out of, there was a house right next to it, a row house. There were all row houses in that street. And it was a decrepit row house. It was, the windows were all blacked out, paint falling apart. And the rumor was it was a laundry, Chinese laundry. I don't know where the laundry went to. So Buddy and I are watching, and out steps that Chinaman again, out of that laundry, that house. And in his hands, he had a silken rope, and he held it like this. He stealthily came down the stairs from that house, and went back to that alley where he was looking originally, He looked out again with the rope. He was looking for me. And I knew that he was there to strangle and take me into that house. So I knew that my life had been saved by my guardian angel. You know, I do know that angels do get promoted. You know, if they do a good job, they don't have to be guardian angels all the time. And I like to think that when my last day is over, and Buddy has to move on, I hope Buddy gets promoted. And that's all I have to say.
Wow.